Hello and welcome to the back nine of round one of the 2025 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by OTB and MVP Disc Sports, our first major of the year. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hotkeys.
Hunk. So professional. What's happening?
We are in round one of our first major of the year, Champions Cup, but we're out here in OTB country. First time having the Champions Cup on the West Coast in Middle California, Central California. What do they call it out here?
Yeah, sure.
We've got
the middle.
A lot of birdies happening. Look at Silva, 6 down through the first 9 holes, bogey free. Kristin Lott also bogey free, but only 5 birdies.
Oh, yeah. Kind of slacking, honestly.
Yeah. What a start. We had some windy conditions, but it doesn't seem to make the course harder for some people.
Yeah. Well, here's a nice easy one. Hole 10, a par 4, 591 feet. It actually is easy if you have a huge tee shot. The drone took the left side. You are not going to see that as much as I think the right side hyzer play. You are carrying out of bounds the majority of the time off your tee shot. If you're in position, it's good to attack, obviously, for birdie. The second shot is very doable, though I believe we brought the basket a little bit back and tucked it to the right. I think it used to be a little farther. Who is this?
Is this a check-in?
Miss Madison Walker, she's 3 down. No!
Yeah, dude.
Dang!
I know. You could hear it hit the side of the basket, of the lighthouse.
The thunk.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that'll be fine, though. Did not expect this. Oh, off the band.
Man.
It's a real heartbreaker.
It's a real dramatic hole from Miss Madison here. Better than a 9, am I right?
It sure is. For those that remember that, shout out.
And for those of you that didn't know, it's pretty funny. I might post it on my story later for you.
Back to our feature card. Here on the same hole, here's that huge tee shot Erika was talking about. A lot of discs have a tendency to end up pinched against this exact tree, and it makes that second shot a lot more difficult.
This thing is going to be in the water. Look at it.
Eveliina going around that tree, and she's way down there in the middle of the fairway with pretty much a straight shot. It is a little guarded by some reeds on the right side because, like Erika said, it's a little bit shorter, and then they pulled it over to the right too, kind of tucked it in a little bit. Sets up nicely for a forehand shot across the water.
Especially because that left side OB line, I think, is a bit tight as well. Kristin?
How?
Yeah, risky and just a little tighter than she wanted, but she's safe, but likely out of position for the birdie, and we'll just lay up from there. Ella with a Color Glow PD here, working the right side a little bit more. And it's good over there, but I think definitely even more of a sidearm play.
She's running out
She's
of
going,
it.
yeah.
It's probably 320 feet from here. Maybe a little bit less than that.
Probably like 300 to cross the water.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely pushing this OB line. Oh, man.
Hits on the outside of that tree, but comes in slow enough that it doesn't get any bad bounce towards the OB. Here's Silva with her classic standstill shot, trying to get this disc to turn right. It was a bit of a headwind on this hole as well.
Yeah, I was just trying to check my notes.
I'm pretty sure maybe a little bit of a crosswind off the tee, headwind on this second shot.
Yeah, it definitely was a headwind. You're right. Eveliina laying up to about 22 feet. And look how far Ella is. I've been seeing more of this kind of right pushing shot.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's scary, though, because that OB line pulls closer and closer to the middle of the fairway. So the farther right you try to go, the more you have to push that OB line.
And carry over it as well. But it pays off. Ella with just a little forehand chip shot. Kristin farthest out. Almost saves the birdie even with an errant tee shot. Silva to move to 7 down.
She is not slowing down.
Wow.
Bogey
Look at how much green. Look at Eveliina moving back to even par after a bit of a rocky start.
Yeah, Eveliina heating up here.
Yeah, 4 down out of the last 5. Ella missing left on that birdie putt.
Hole 10 played as a tie for the second most difficult hole of the day. This was one that bogeys can stack up quickly, and that's true for a lot of these back 9 holes.
That's funny. I said it was an easy one as a joke, but I didn't realize it was quite that hard.
Yeah, I think people trying to get it aggressive with the basket being shorter, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Hole 11, another one in the trend of the OTB hard par 3s. It's 350 feet, and look how scary it is. OB all the way down the left-hand side, and OB inside the bullseye of this very precariously perched pin. Geese everywhere, too, so you got to be on your game because they are ready to fight.
For their babies.
Yeah, there's goslings all over the place. The place to throw, I think, a force flex with something overstable, really let it get out to the right side and maybe get a little ground play back to the basket. But you will see people throwing nice straight shots as well. You have to be so careful with ground play, though, because it is a very hard pan green.
And this is what you're going to see a lot of, kind of a bailout, although that is even more stable than I expected, and Silva will be putting.
Yeah, so last year they had a pretty mean OB line on the right side.
True, it was tight.
They completely removed it this year, which is a nice pleasant surprise because they were tightening OB all over this course, but it's like I feel like they just forgot it. And I'm glad they did.
Wow, check out this shot and a nice little tree bounce. Eveliina with a champion J. So cool that she can throw that slow speed disc.
All the way to 350 feet.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Silva going fission photon. What speed is that?
That's a 12 speed.
Yeah, and that's more typical.
Mm-hmm.
Kristin gonna be in circle 2, it looks like. Ella also going mid-range here. Puts a nice move on it, and this has some really good stability, it looks like. A scary putt with that water 5 feet away.
Yeah, it's decision time. You can see Kristin deciding to lay it up.
Are the geese being really aggressive right now?
Yeah.
There's so many.
And they were so loud, too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of aggressive honking.
Which, you know, we're a fan of here in the booth. And a great birdie from Eveliina. A turkey and 5 down through the last 6 holes.
There's Ella having to settle for par. CrossFit every day. Only 2 birdies. 5 birdies on hole 11. Eveliina going to take the only one on our feature card.
And Silva now with a 2-stroke lead. Hole 12, a par 4, 619 feet. This is how we've played it in the past. The drone took the left side gap. You can take the right side as well. The OB line on the left is tighter in previous years, so you got to be careful with that turnover line. Second shot is tough. There's a lot of low-hanging branches above the water, so it calls for a sidearm perhaps, or you do see some power players play way over to the right side and then throw another shot around the water. This is historically one of the harder holes to birdie, and it gets even harder when we are in the B format and going to play it as a par 5 later. Eveliina going to take this big right side play.
Yeah, we used to see more players, big distance players playing that right side, but those tree branches on the second shot have grown out so much that it's almost not worth the risk anymore.
Yeah, I think I've seen less and less people do it.
Yeah, this is the more common play. Silva throwing the shot really great.
But look how close that OB line is,
I know,
though.
it's pulled in so tight.
It keeps you honest.
You really either have to choose this hyzer or really force something over off the tee, give it lots of room to hyzer back.
And I actually like the hyzer. I started doing it this year. It's not as far as I thought to cross the water, but then you don't quite end up as left as you want if you want to throw the backhand approach. It makes you throw a sidearm, basically.
Yeah, it really pinches off that second shot. I feel like forehand, I mean, of course you can throw a backhand always, but forehand is the play.
On the second?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Eveliina looks like she's going big out and over the water here. Risky shot, because if she doesn't cross, she'll have to just progress. Well, it's looking great. I'm going to stop talking. Oh, dang it.
Oh, man.
So she's only going to move forward to the edge of the water and still have a touchy approach left.
Yeah, it was a headwind here as well. I mean, no, it was a tailwind. Sorry. I think it was a tail.
It was a tailwind, yeah. Which is, the other reason I liked the hyzer play today. And,
Kristin?
here's the problem with it, though. Those branches are right in the way when you take this right side.
Yeah, Kristin going to line it up as well. Little less risky.
Pretty fortunate break.
Yeah, very fortunate.
And here's that.
Wow.
Yeah, right side play. Ella really sawing it off, though, and not getting the nice break that we just saw Kristin get. That's pretty brutal. I mean, it wasn't a good shot, but still a rough break.
Yeah.
Evelina's fourth after the OB. Still a lot of work here.
Yeah,
nice.
This basket, the OB is right outside the bullseye, and in my opinion, it's just a little too close. I think for how difficult this second shot is, it could be a little bit more forgiving on the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There were 11 birdies. It surprisingly played kind of in the middle of the pack on difficulty. This one does, like Erika said, usually play on the more difficult side, but I think a lot of players just going for par. No. Wow. That's unfortunate.
Oh, it's out.
2 discs out and dry.
Yeah, that is a rough break.
And Silva just going to take another birdie.
Yeah, why not? Why not move to 8?
She's making this course look so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ella, unfortunately, going to undo some of that hard work she did with the double bogey on 12. Half the field able to walk away with pars here, and that comes from just smart play instead of getting really aggressive here and going for the birdie on 12. One of the few holes where you can just take some off and play a little bit smarter.
Mm-hmm. Silva now 3 strokes ahead of Kristin.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Here it is on hole 13. This one you cannot play safe. You've got to go huge off the tee. They pinched that OB line on the left side in very tight. The right side OB as well as in play. You got to kind of throw right at those branches and let something hyzer. You got to keep it low though because it is low ceiling, and you really want to bite off as much as possible off the tee because this pin position is rude. It is so close to the out of bounds. It's really tucked in a corner on the left side of the green, and it is an island shot for the second. If you do not land safe, there is a drop zone from about 50 feet. That is no fun.
And this was a headwind here, and you can see it really take control of Silva's disc that's careening out of bounds. And I don't know that she's going to be in a great position to go across.
Yeah, that tree can be weird over there. I think forehand's a great play here, especially if you can get this huge distance.
That's perfect.
Yeah, Kristin getting past those low-hanging tree branches. She'll have a wide open shot to the very tiny little green.
I zoned out a little bit. How much did you talk about how much farther back this tee pad is than in previous years?
Is it?
Yeah, we used to be in front of these trees.
Oh my
See
gosh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's way harder now. It's still fair, and with the OB line left that they brought in, it's way harder, but it's still a gettable birdie.
I realized today I threw like a drive that I feel like I dropped a bomb. It was unreal. And then I was like, wow, I still have so far to this island. Like I'm still throwing a fairway.
Yeah, you're rarely seeing people get past those branches very far.
Yeah. Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Ella with a great upshot to the edge of circle. Yeah, I like the right pin position a lot better for all those reasons that you listed.
Yeah, and honestly, you can be smart and just throw something over to the right side of the green, but, you know, you want a birdie and you want to land something close so you don't have a death putt. Silva going to play to that right side, and she's going to have a little bit of a scary putt from deep in circle 1.
I bet she gets it.
Yeah, she does.
Doesn't shy away. Eveliina with a big shot here, nice and stable.
It was a bit of a scary wind on this one as well.
Yeah, it was.
Direct headwind with some right to left action as well.
Kristin with Just such a good drive, but really pushing this one way too straight. And she's going to, anything from the fairway that goes out of bounds now proceeds to this drop zone, which is a funny little drop zone. It's curved because it's for both baskets, so her feet are in front of the flags, so it kind of looks funny.
Oh, and it's only about 34 feet.
Is it? No.
Yeah, it's right outside the circle.
Okay.
Oh, what a friendly little palm.
I thought it was outside the circle for the other pin, but for that one, for this pin, I thought it was closer to 45 or 50. Huh.
Right there today, you're right outside the tassel.
Dang. And Silva with a great par save there. Nice putt. Oh, and Ella in for a really solid putt and a birdie. Looked very relaxed there.
This one in the top 5 for difficulty. A quarter of the field birdieing, but also a quarter parring and half the field with a bogey or worse. So pretty significantly more difficult than we've seen in years past. Kind of, it is a fair change, but yeah, it's a hard one.
It's definitely hard.
I'm shaking in my boots when I'm walking up to this tee pad.
Kristin with, unfortunately, her first bogey of the round there. Hannah win now in solo second, 6 down through 13. Hole 14, the same hole we've seen in the past 314 feet. A straight shot under some foliage here. This line we see is for a different hole. There's no out of bounds. Very protected green here. So usually you see women kind of fade off to the left side. It's really easy to end up kind of in circle 2 area and have a long putt. I believe this one was also just a straight headwind, so it was kind of flipping your disc and taking them over to the right, which is the more guarded side of the green. This is one you feel like you should have a putt at every time, but I swear you're always like just a little outside the circle.
Or like just out of position, because you can get up inside the circle and have no putt. These trees are just as big as they look and can cause a lot of obstructed putting situations, especially for par.
Eveliina with a really great shot inside the circle there. Ella also just making this look easy.
That ground
squirrel. Like, what is this?
What was that? Yeah, continuing the trend of hard par 3s, not super gettable birdies.
I mean, they are, if you're perfect like this.
Exactly.
You know, they're gettable. Yeah, it's certainly not easy. Or not gimmies anyway.
Yeah.
Kristin taking a line we don't see quite as often and catching some foliage, dropping pretty short.
Nice little pushing harp shot to just inside the bullseye.
Silva to move to 9 down.
And there she goes.
She is going.
Yeah, only 12 birdies on this hole. Silva going to be one of them. Not as many as you'd think with a 314-foot par 3.
Kristin going to take the par. Eveliina just outside the bullseye. Nicely done.
And there's the Eveliina we know, stacking them up. Ella with a park job, tapping birdie.
Yeah, she's looking more relaxed now.
Ella, the only person to park the hole.
Nine down. Were you thinking double digits?
No.
Going
and
into
bogey
this?
free too.
Yeah.
Bogey free.
Amazing.
Insane. And continuing the trend of difficult par 3s, here's this 337-foot par 3. Not one perfect line. There's a lot of options. You can go hyzer and try to skip something through all these trees. You can go straight at it like the drone's flying here. Not my favorite line. I like the left side line, a turning shot that crashes in a little bit late, but you have to get it to hold right the whole time. Hannah's going to show us the hyzer route.
Yeah, definitely got to get a little bit lucky through this gap. She threw it as well as you could, obviously. There's just a whole lot of trees in the way, but a pretty nice park job here from Hannah to go to 7 down.
Hannah's been playing solidly for years now. I love to see her put this all together out here. Let's watch Kat Merch attack as well. She's really going to push the ceiling. Oh, and gets tangled up early.
Yeah, you often see that. I have a feeling here.
Forehand? Yes.
This like sundress viper, pit viper look, I'm a fan.
With little dangly earrings too. Oh yeah, no big deal.
Nice throw in from Kat Merch.
Back to the feature card.
Eveliina gonna take the same line as Hannah.
Okay, so this is the line.
No, it's A
I don't
line.
know.
It's A line. It's a small gap.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna see Ella working that left side line. I threw an Anheuser backhand because I don't have the distance, but if you have the distance, I think the forehand is the way.
I do think this is the cleanest line.
Yep.
The most honest, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Ella leaving it just outside the circle.
But you find yourself there a lot on that line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it kind of adds maybe just a bit of distance.
Here's Silva looking for that right finish. Oh, yeah.
Clean.
That's great.
Really, really good.
Yeah, going past the basket. Little tailwind to help these forehands get some good ground play. Oh, that's the one tree to miss on the forehand. Kristen's still left with a little bit of an approach. It's crazy how strokes can stack up if you get tangled up early.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many trees, and they're kind of checkerboarded all the way up to the green.
Ella from just outside the circle looking for a turkey and to move back to even par. Not quite.
Eveliina for another turkey.
Man, she's having a chaotic round in the best way, like respectfully,
Yeah,
you know?
respectfully.
Just turkey, bogey, turkey. All right.
Turkey sandwich. And Silva
Come on.
I know she looks like a machine right now.
She's 100% circle one, too.
Yes.
Wow.
She's
Got 2 follow flights. She's got multiple circle twos.
She's looking terrifying right now.
Yeah.
Very unfazed.
I mean, she always looks like that, but it's working extra today for sure.
Yeah.
10 down through 15 holes. Hole 16, par 3, 299 feet. We are in the short position. This is the one we've seen in years prior. Mandatory on the right makes it so the forehand is an appealing play. You can squeak a backhand down here, but it is pretty risky because you can see that left side OB line come in very tightly into circle 2 on the left side, and the tee pad's kind of pointed right at that OB line. You do occasionally see some ladies take that sneaky right side gap right after the mandatory. It's workable, but can be pretty risky. Eveliina not turning, or a little early release on her side. I'm going to catch an early tree.
I feel like every shot on this hole is risky.
Yeah.
There's not really a safe play. You can see Silva just sailing one out of bounds, trying to get that to flip up. Even the forehand is risky because that out of bounds green is just barely to the right of the pin. I think it's right outside the bullseye. You can see Ella trying to keep it nice and low to hopefully minimize that ground play. But
yeah, you could just throw a chip forehand for a par. That's not risky, but anything attacking the pin, like Kristin does really well, brings in a high level of risk.
I think that this is the hardest par 3 on the course. I have tried for so many years to figure it out, and there's just not one right answer. The forehand, I think, would be the best. But again, if it's such a long distance with a low ceiling, you have to throw it hard, and just minimizing the ground play is tough.
And some layups here into The circle. Oh my gosh.
gosh.
Silva gonna keep it bogey free with that huge putt.
That is incredible.
Yeah, let's see it again. No problem. How far was that? 40?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Wow.
And she's throwing directly at out of bounds. If she misses that at all, it is straight OB.
Incredible. Ella with a good scramble and a nice putt. Kristin for the only birdie opportunity on the card here.
Kristin, one of only 9 birdies out of 60 competitors, so it's a hard one. What a great birdie from Kristin. Lot.
And Eveliina cleaning up her par. And only 2 incredibly difficult holes to go.
Yeah, the way they rearranged the course is nice. It's 2 great finishing holes.
Yes.
A lot can happen, especially 18. The new 18 can get wild in windy conditions, especially. Here we are at 17. At 626 feet, the tee shot is the most important. You got to make sure you get over this out-of-bounds green on the left side, but not too far. That water does come up if you're a distance thrower. Your second shot, you do have to go up and over this pond. The basket's perched on a little hill, out of bounds all the way down the left side. Of course, the water short, and then that green on the right-hand side that your disc can find a way to roll towards. It's a fun hole. It's a fair hole, and tee shot is especially important.
Hannah Wynn, 7 down, currently in solo second with a nice tee shot here. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
It's even farther than it looked.
Yeah.
Just pushing that OB deep, you can see how quick it comes up, as Madison said. Hannah hanging this one out wide, which is a smart play to keep it safe. She'll have a long putt for the birdie if she's in. Yep.
Yay.
Wow. Okay.
Just playing right on the edge.
Yeah.
And a
What
little
a
hyzer putt.
putt.
Yep.
That thing has some pace on it. Wow, Hannah. She's stoked.
Let's watch Paige Pierce on her second shot. A little bit shorter, or third shot.
Nah, it's
Second, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be second. Paige also going to hang it out really wide here, catch a tree. Probably almost 50 feet here, really pinned up.
Whoa. Big putt.
Huge. Wow, and that's to move to 6 down. Paige really lighten up kind of the middle of the course in the back 9, it looks like. Nicely done.
Back to the feature card. Kristin going to be top of the box with that birdie on 16.
And this was a tailwind, so just I can kind of actually see it push Kristin's disc down a little bit. She did throw it a little bit low. It should be far enough where she can attack from there.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a scarier shot. She'll have to pull out a faster disc. And on that hilly green, you ideally want to be throwing a mid.
Eveliina, this looks nice and floaty.
Yeah, I love that.
Curious.
Is that a J?
It looked slower speed. Yep, you got it.
Her and Cat Merch both really loving that disc.
And throwing it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Silva, a little faster speed, getting some skips, scaring some geese. Just another day. Not a play we see very often, but it's a great play.
Yeah.
Ella with the forehand. Maybe, I don't want to call it conservative. It's a big forehand. But, yeah, definitely less aggressive. Yeah, Kristin with a lot of work left. How far do you think to clear the water from here?
It's probably 315 or 320 to clear the water. Maybe more than that.
Yeah, and she's definitely cleared it. Flirting with those trees. It's going to be fine for par.
Mm-hmm. Ella closer. No, I think Ella's more like around the 300, 315 range. Kristin, it was a crush. Required.
Ella hanging this out really high, getting through some branches, and she'll be looking at another birdie. Ella really fighting hard this round, and it's like she flipped a switch. All of a sudden, she's like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Eveliina with that huge tee shot. And this looks great.
I feel like it does take a few years to fully shake the nerves during tournaments. And I mean, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know Ella's, you know, she's been here for a while now, but still, like, it takes a handful of years
Yeah.
to not be nervous at all.
Plus, I mean, defending essentially
Yeah.
her first, big
Biggie.
win.
Yeah.
Silva, just 10 birdies isn't enough birdies, you know?
Honestly, I don't think it matters where she lands. Like, this putt's going in. Like, just chuck it down there somewhere.
Uh-huh. Anywhere within 100 feet.
Kristin gonna still try to run at this putt, and what a good effort.
Yeah, I love the bid. Just the edge of circle 2. Oh. First missed putt from Silva all day. On hole 17. That's crazy.
And dead center, just a little bit high. The only miss that's acceptable. Ella with another birdie.
Yeah,
Finally.
moves to even par.
Mm-hmm.
Eveliina, a little left on that birdie putt. Gonna have to settle for a par here. Looked like a confident stroke. It was into a straight headwind there.
Yeah.
Can always be a little scary.
Also, it's warming up out here. This is the first tournament we've had to play this year that's hot. Get up into the 80s now.
Plus the UV just feels like you're cooking out there.
It sure does. You're searching for shade.
Silva just sticking with 10. I guess she must have heard me say that 10's plenty.
There's still time.
Wrapping it up, hole 18, old hole 17 is a par 4, 569 feet. I like the right side play. The left side is viable, but they planted yet another new tiny tree that's right in the way of that line. Obviously, water on the right OB. OB on the left side that pinches way more than it has in years prior. It's got to be at least 80 feet in from where it used to be, meaning that they want you to attack the basket instead of just kind of bailing out and playing for par. So we're going to see a lot more ladies getting aggressive on the second shot, hanging it way out over the water and trying to get that birdie. There's so many different plays you can do off this tee. Left gap, right gap, forehand, backhand. Anything you want.
Yeah, I like the forehand. I think it's a great play. Ella not even having to throw that very hard, kind of maybe worried about going in the water to the right side. It's pretty important here, though, to try to bite off some distance on your tee shot, though, because like Erika said, it's a lot of ground to cover on that second shot over a lot of water. So it's a huge advantage to do what Kristin just did and put it all the way as far as you can go. That way she can just carry the safe land the whole way instead of over OB.
I love the safe land.
Everyone loves the safe land.
Eveliina in a really good spot as well. Lots of land in between her and the basket.
Silva working the hyzer line.
Yeah, it looked just a little
Undercommitted.
Yeah. Or she was like trying to get little tricky with little
Yeah.
hyzer flip and just
Yeah.
didn't really throw it very hard. This is a headwind, so horrible wind to carry a whole lot of water. Forehand, once again, a great play.
Oh, man.
What?
Thankfully, she covers some safe land for a lot of the way.
Boy, does she.
Eveliina, not scared, going hyzer over the water.
Danger water.
She immediately knows out of her hand that it's a little left, but spikes it, and it doesn't go out of bounds. There used to be so much more room over there.
So
you could
much.
bail a hyzer, and it was no big deal. Now you're
Yeah.
scared to bail at all.
Silva over the danger water. Just go in. Wow, what a shot.
So good.
Man, what a year for Silva Saarinen. It's been fun to watch so far.
Mm-hmm. Kristin hanging it out more than I was expecting.
Maybe more than she was expecting to. Doesn't
Yeah.
quite land safe. She did cross up there. Ella's fourth, just chipping a little sidearm. Looking to get out of here with a bogey, 1 over par. I'm sure she's not happy with that, but I bet she will really attack tomorrow.
And hole 18 played is the most difficult hole of the day. So like we said early in the front nine, we like the change. It's exciting. You really cannot control what's going to happen on this one.
Yeah, a lot of risk. Also, just a lot of really great crowd energy in this area. There's just so many holes you can watch from this party island, they call it, or pirate island, affectionately. And I just think it's going to be a really fun finish.
Only 8 birdies to finish up on hole 18 out of 60 competitors, and 65% of the field with a bogey or worse. So, yeah, you're shaking in your boots coming up to this tee as well.
And mostly pars Ella with the only bogey there.
A pretty strong finish from our lead card or feature card on 18.
Yeah, Silva 10 down, unreal. Gonna be the only one to hit double digits in solo first. Hannah Wynn managed to, it looked like, finish with another birdie to go to 9 down. Paige Pierce and Kristin Lätt joining us on the lead card tomorrow at 5 down. Looks like there's a tie for third, and it looks like top 12 or so are going to be under par.
Yeah, it played differently than I was expecting today. The course was significantly harder. But I think that 10 down mark is right at like 980 golf, 975 or 980 golf.
That's it?
Yeah. A one down, I think, was 970, 975.
Wait, I don't
like
understand.
at the top
one
10
down?
in the top 10. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Top 10 was
I thought you
shooting
said
like
the 10 down.
Oh no, the 10 down. If I said that, I didn't mean it. It was 1036, I believe, unofficially rated.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
Lights out, and that's what you have to do these days in FPO. So
it's true. You gotta shoot 1025 average to win these days.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Incredible. So that's going to be round 1. We've got 3 more rounds to go at Champions Cup, the first major of the year. Thanks for hanging with us. Before you go.
Yeah, we are almost at 500,000 subscribers, so please join us in that endeavor. We'll love you forever if you do it. So click the bells, ding them for us.
Yeah.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're the two Hockeys.
Honk.
Honk.
Sunshine, get up on my body, know it truly, I feel fine. Get up, watch your body, and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it truly, I feel fine.